I just want to make sure that there's agreement on what was said last night, that that everyone now agrees that a demonstration that the municipality or developer has control or has the ability to control a site and must provide in the plan by December 31st a description of the site, including the street, location, block, lot, and acreage, is not the case under the third round COAH regulations. And in fact, instead, an implementation schedule can be provided of when that information will be submitted in the future.
I don't think that's understood at all.
Okay. What's the understanding?
My understanding was you have to have reasonable control of the property. Reasonable control, according to what I was on the phone with COAH during that conversation. I asked the question 3 times, 3 different ways, and all 3 times they told me it would be rejected.
Well, no, it would be rejected if you do an implementation plan identifying a schedule of when the material required under 5:97-6.2 D2 will be submitted. They said you can't do that then? It's just on the checklist for no reason?
No, I didn't phrase the question with with that specific language. I asked the question very simple because I'm a simple guy. And I asked it very simply. I said, would we be able to submit any kind of a plan to you, that does not have where the township does not have a reasonable degree of certainty that we will actually be able to acquire and get that property for the purpose, the intended purpose, which is for the COAH? Pretty much under any circumstances, they said no.
Well, yeah, if you say we can't reasonably, right, if you say we can't reasonably get the land, of course, but okay, so if you identify a schedule of when you're going to acquire land. Okay, now you have to have a conversation with these owners, you have to have some kind of dialogue, you have to know that you will be able to acquire these properties. But the checklist, well, I'm just telling you what this is what I asked. But there's more inclusive than that, and there's other parts in Coppola's plan, in Coppola's proposal. He laid out, and if you read the whole paragraph, it does talk about a reasonable degree of control of the property. I mean, he's clearly saying it. So this particular sentence doesn't say that, but that's not what you got to read the whole page, not just the line. I read I think it's 155 pages from front to back. Well, have had at least, I have to say, probably 20 communications with COAH. Well, I don't know who you're talking to at COAH, but I got to tell you, the principal planner is working on the plan. I was pretty adamant on the phone, and I got my answer the same way 3 times. So who were you talking to?
Lucy Vandenberg, the executive director of COAH.
Executive director, okay.
That's who you're talking to?
That's exactly who we were talking to. And Melissa, who's their counsel.
She was kind of adamant about it. I mean, she was, she may be, like, don't ask the question again. I gave it to you 3 times.
Oh, that's fine.
Dwayne was present for that conversation as well.